Well, today's edition of Great Date Dining features bold flavors and cool vibes. Back in 2011, four best friends with ties to Malaysia, Hong Kong, Vietnam, and Winter Haven, Florida decided to bring their love for Asian food together and open up a restaurant. Well, fast forward to 2021. The brand continues to expand. Here is a look inside of one of my favorite Edge District eateries. Of Asia to the streets of St. Petersburg. We're in the Edge District today, sampling some authentic Asian street food at Hawker's.
Everything on our core menu is actually found in the streets of Asia today.
Wow.
So a
Asian
lot of
countries like China,
Malaysia,
China, Thailand,
Singapore, Thailand. Okay. Even has some dishes from Korea, some things from Japan.
Yeah.
But not your fine dining in those countries. It's what's really found in the streets, right? And to me, it's the best food in those countries.
I'm joined by Chef Alan Lowe, one of the co-founders of Hawker's. Thank you so much for agreeing to break bread with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Hawker's is one of my favorite restaurants here in St. Petersburg, so I was really excited to sit down and learn the background, the history. Let's talk about the name. Where did the name Hawker's come from?
So, it's called Hawker's is because it's usually an individual pushing a cart, selling one or two items that they really specialize in, that they're really good at, and they're going around town and they're hawking their food. They're saying, you know, if it's pad thai, they're running around town saying pad thai, come get your pad thai.
Right.
So that's hawking their food, kind of like a Sabret hot dog vendor would in New York City, right? So that would be a hawker in the USA. So the hawkers in Southeast Asia are selling very unique foods like this.
Well, let's talk about the recipes, because I understand a lot of things on the menu are family recipes, correct?
They are. So there are a lot of my family recipes and some of the other founders, mostly are mine, because I was a kid who grew up in an Americanized Chinese restaurant. We sold, Hunan chicken, General Tso's chicken, orange chicken. And I've always wondered growing up, so why are we eating this stuff but we're selling this stuff, right? So when it was my turn to make the menu, I wanted to kind of pick my family's brains because everyone had their thing to go to. My mom made prawn mee, my grandma made the curry, and it's like, hey, let's pass this down, let's share, right? This is, recipes passed down from generation to generation. So when I got to create the menu, I wanted to do nothing but these recipes. I wanted to do very unique items.
It is truly a fusion of so many different Asian cultures.
Absolutely.
And I love that. Well, I am ready to go on an adventurous journey of the palate. So let's get to the food, starting with one of my favorites to share, the Roti.
I brought you all my favorites today. So the Roti Chinoy is actually one of our #1 sellers. This is the bread at the table, right? So this is, I always like to explain it like as if a croissant and a pancake kind of had a baby, right?
That's good.
So it is a layered dough that is covered with ghee in between each layer. So what we do is we'll put it on the pan or on a flat top griddle, and what happens is when you start cooking this dough, the ghee heats up and starts to steam, and it starts to separate the layers, as simple as a croissant. And then what we do is that when it's about done and it's puffed up and it's filled with steam, it starts to air up like a balloon. We smack it to keep the layers separated, and it gives you this wonderful texture. We pair it with curry dipping sauce. That recipe, again, is my grandmother's recipe. It is to die for, and like growing up, I would probably eat 4 or 5 of these things a day. That curry paste, we make in-house. It's got over 20 ingredients in it, all very unique ingredients. We cook it over the stove for 4 hours to caramelize, reduce. And then what we do is that paste is just a mother paste. From there, we make this curry dipping sauce. We also make the Popolo's curry chicken or the Popolo's curry beef. From there, we also can add it to a stock and make a curry laksa that we'll talk about here in a minute. Another one of my favorite dishes. But yeah, this is, you have to start every Hawker's experience with Roti. Absolutely.
Even if you don't know how to pronounce it, give it a try. Okay, up next, we're going to the
pad thai. So this is from northern Thailand. This is actually my great uncle's recipe. So pad thai is the most known Thai dish, right, in America. Again, this is, I say this is our #1 seller. This would be close to #2, right? I consider this #1 also because this is kind of a small plate kind of starter, if you would, like every table needs one. And this is a noodle dish. This is a heavy starch dish. This is really filling. It's topped with roasted peanuts, gives you a nice fresh lime. It's got shrimp, chicken. Again, this sauce is something that we make in-house. Again, another 4 hours on the stove. So all these sauces we cannot make during business hours. We have to make it at night. It's very proprietary. We've won Best Pad Thai in every market we've been in.
Really?
Almost 10, well, in Orlando, I can confidently say it's been 10 years in a row. We've won Best Pad Thai.
All right, the last dish that you're featuring is?
Curry laksa. I gotta pull this one over here.
Okay,
so
please.
This is a curry laksa. The one thing that I did change with this one that's not traditional is because I added a fresh made ramen in here, and I want to show you guys that.
Okay, please.
So we use a Sun Ramen product, and it's a fresh ramen that we cook in house. So, and ramen is known for its texture and the bite, the bounce of the noodle.
Right.
Ramen's also a very porous noodle where it absorbs the broth and the stock and the flavors really well. So this ramen, this is a Tokyo Wavy ramen, and it just paired so well with this. Normally I would use like an egg noodle or even a blend with an egg and a rice noodle. But I honestly love the ramen in this so much that I changed it all across the board, every restaurant, that now it's now served with ramen. And it gives the bounce and the bite that the dish deserves. If you come to Hawkers and there's 3 dishes that you gotta try, it's the 3 that we talked about, and then save the rest for the next trip.
Right, just keep on coming back. Well, in addition to the delicious food, Hawkers also has some yummy cocktails. Right now, I'm joined by Elijah Burleigh. Welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
You are showing me the secret to my favorite drink on your menu, the margarita.
Oh, the margarita.
It's so good.
It's delectable. It's sweet, it's a little bit of spicy. It
Yeah.
has a perfectly good balance, sweet and spice. Everything is fresh. All of our ingredients, we cut all of our ginger in-house. All of our ingredients are fresh.
Love that.
All right, and we're gonna do our cortisone. We're gonna do a ½ ounce of cortisone. That's gonna be our Patron citronage. That's what makes a margarita right there. Okay, don't forget it.
So
Don't forget
true.
it. Here, give it a little shake, pop.
The magic. This is the magic, folks.
Here we go, here we go.
How many of these do you make on a given day?
Oh, Friday or Saturday, I probably make at least 100.
Wow.
Yes, all right.
Cheers. Well, Hawkers has a great happy hour menu, and they recently launched brunch, so check them out on the weekends for brunch. For more information, you can visit eathawkers.com.